Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, December 18th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's gonna open in about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple things here to update and we should be good to go. A few more things here. All right. Looks like we are good to go. All right, so let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, perfect. So I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. And we'll start marking liquidity as people join in. So I'll start over here on the daily time frame. Go down to the 8 hour. And I'm just gonna mark up stuff that's like close to the current price because it's no point in going so far back. To the 2 hour. Go down to the 1 hour. It's just slowly blue. Going back to the 30-minute. Good. Oh, these are red. Going down to the 15-minute. Going down to the 10-minute. And I think that should be it. All right, guys, so we got liquidity marked up over here, going back down to the 1 minute here. As you can see, price doesn't really move too much right here pre-market. It is Monday, so obviously market is kind of going back and forth until we get some direction on market open. So good morning, everybody. Looks like half of you guys are here so far. Today is Monday, December 18th. It is 6:25 right now. Market's gonna open in about 5 minutes. We've pretty much marked up liquidity over here. As you guys can see, lower liquidity is over here at 37,699. So that's gonna be the low level liquidity down here. And then we have the high level liquidity up here at 37,746. So we got levels above, levels below. Which might get hit pre-market. ETR right now is currently 7, so it's kind of slow, but price might start to pick up as we get closer to market open over here at 6:30. So we got a couple things here to look out for with regard to liquidity. So I'll just clean this up a little bit. Take this off. And there we go. So lower level right here, upper level right here. Let's go to our clean chart. So from our clean chart over here, I'm going to mark up 630. And 8 o'clock. I'm going to go on the higher time frame, 4 hour. See if there's any structure here for us to look at. So you got one level of structure right there. The other level is like way down here. It's not going to be useful for us. Going down to the 1 hour. So I guess we could just focus on, I guess they kind of overlap a little bit. So I'll just let them overlap a bit right there. Go down to the 1 minute. Prices are consolidated a lot more as we get closer to the holidays, guys. So obviously you're going to see a lot of more sideways movement as price continues to, obviously move along here. I'm trying to figure out what level was this. There's a small level that I drew within here. Oh, okay, I see. Let me just redo this. We're just going to use a closer level. Closer level is going to be a lot easier for us to follow. So I'm not going to follow any 4 hour levels. I'm just going to follow the 1 hours. Just so we're a little more precise with regard to the location. All right, so right here we have the 1 hour resistance level. And down here we have the 1 hour support level. We're probably not going to get down to this level, but we'll probably be using this upper level right here. So we got 1 hour resistance, 1 hour support. Going over to our clean chart, I don't think we had any news this morning yet. We have news at 7 o'clock, which is medium impact NHB housing market index. So we got that coming up in about 30 minutes. So we got one news event today at 7 o'clock right here, medium impact. And that's pretty much about it. No other news for today. All right, so good morning, everybody. Good morning, Rashida. Morning, Ryan. Morning, Sisu. Good morning, everyone. Today's Monday, December 18th. It is 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. There's not really much news today aside from the NHB Housing Market Index, which is going to be over here at 7 o'clock. It's medium impact news, so we'll be looking out for that. Otherwise, there's not really much else. We have 1 hour resistance that's above here, so if price does push up, price might bounce off this level. That's like one scenario. Other than that, over here on liquidity, there's two levels. There's lower level right here at 37,699. And then we have a higher level over here at 37,746. We got levels on both sides over here. And that's pretty much it for the most part. So we got market opening in about a couple seconds here. Or I don't know what's up with my MC4. my timer on my MC4 is like way off. It says like there's like 5 seconds left, but I'm looking over here and it's definitely like 30 seconds. So we'll see. Anyways, morning, David. Morning, everybody. Morning, Daniel. Market is about to open in about 15 seconds. I'm hoping my MC4 isn't all screwed up, but I mean, we'll see when I take my first trade here. I'm back at my office at home, guys, so I might have some issues. Okay, so we have some really spiky volatility here. Liquidity just got hit down below. I'd be careful if you guys are taking anything right now. As you can see, the market's being highly manipulated. I wouldn't recommend taking any trades at the moment because you guys can see how these candles are moving. Huge spikes back and forth. I would just wait for some confirmation before you start taking any trades here because the markets typically move like this on Monday for market open. So huge spike right here to the upside. This could technically be the breakout B1, like the original. So if it closes as a strong green candle, this could technically be the original breakout. But again, I'd be careful taking it because you can see how price is spiking around super heavily. With price spiking around like this, there's no certainty as to which direction price will actually go. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 77% short. This indicates that 77% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently up 40 points, so they're pretty much neutral for the most part. And looking over here at the technicals, pretty much on the shorter time frames, they're neutral. Higher time frames are bullish. So you can see how the 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour price is above the pivots, trend meter screen, pivots are angling up. On the shorter time frames over here, price is attempting to shift to the upside, but it's coming up from the middle. So it's pretty much neutral for the most part. So we have a bullish bias with regards to high time frame trend. Lower time frame trend is currently neutral. And again, you just want to be careful. You can see exactly where price is rejecting off directly off the sessions right here, which is typical. So obviously want to hold off right now. It's not really a good area. There's no strong green candle, so there's no entry yet for any breakouts. So there's no breakout entries available at the moment. Prices are spiking around a bit. ATR is currently at 11, so it is picking up a little bit, but it's still not where it needs to be. So just hold off for a bit. We have a pending sell signal here. Again, price is kind of just going back and forth. We don't really have much of a bias today. We have somewhat of a bullish bias, but it's not very strong. So long-term bias is bullish, but short-term bias is pretty much neutral right now. And price just keeps spiking back and forth. So obviously you want to be careful with any opportunities here that may come up. Hey, Brock, morning. Yeah, C6 said, I'm definitely waiting for the market to stabilize today. It's been ranging, so huge setup to build anticipation. Nothing like building that up to get people to hop in out of FOMO. Yeah, exactly, C6, 100%. So just be careful here, guys. There's a lot of, let's see if there's any sessions below. There's a session below, but it's kind of far off. Closest session is the one above. So what I kind of want to see here is I want to see some manipulation to the downside, and then I would like to see a possible correction to the upside. So maybe like a sell signal, like we just got right here, and then maybe like, you know, 2 green candles for a momentum counter scalp. The only problem here is that the candles are so spiky. You can see how these candles are spiking super heavily that, you know, they might end up super high up before we can even get any movement here. It's in any actual like real movement. So you can see here that price is kind of just spiking back and forth. It's not really a good area to be trading in. ATR is currently 13 right now, so it's still a little slow, but it's not necessarily flat. It's below 15. The candles look big, but the actual movement's not super huge. So you can see over here where price kind of bounced off, right? You can see at the 1 hour resistance, price came down, or it came up actually on open. It faked out and it came right back down super hard. So rejected directly off the 1 hour resistance right there. I'm going to mark up opening price on all the charts. So this is why it's important that you guys see the structure here that I draw on pretty much every other chart, because there's different structures here to kind of take a look at and focus on. That's going to be pretty much valuable to avoid any risky entries here. All right, we got open price marked up right there. We got a sell signal here. If this candle closes, this may be a possible opportunity for a momentum counter scalp. So if this closes green, there may be opportunity here for a possible momentum counter scalp if anybody's looking to take it. I think it could be okay as long as it doesn't get too close to the sessions up here. So you have to like really watch it to make sure it actually closes green. And then on top of that, you want to make sure that price actually doesn't get too close to the sessions above, because if it does, then it's going to be a little too risky. So if you want to take this right here as a momentum counter scalp, you have to make sure the candle does close green, which there's no way to confirm. This candle here was a doji, so there's no entry there for a momentum counter scalp, unfortunately, guys. It would have been good if it closed. You can see right there, it would have been pretty nice, but yeah, it sucks. I was waiting for it to close and it didn't close. Yeah, looking over here at MT4, it's actually red. So it would not have closed as a momentum counter scalp entry. So no entry there. And then now it's right at the sessions. So again, like I mentioned, this would have been a pretty solid entry if it closed properly. It didn't. So unfortunately, no entry there. Looks like there might be a breakout V3 setting up right here. We have a possible buy signal setting up, but again, it's going to be at the session, so I wouldn't recommend taking it. So just keep that in mind, guys. I never recommend taking any trades around the sessions. Opening price and news price is sometimes okay because that can act as a target price point, but sessions for sure, I just avoid them. That's like the riskiest type of trade to enter here. So there's no entry here yet. Price is really just going back and forth. There's not really too much direction here at all. Looks like price has established a range. So you can't really see it here too much on the clean chart, but there's a higher high right here. So let me just go and draw this up for you guys. So there's a higher high right here. Can't really tell if it's going to overlap with the 1 hour resistance. And then we have a lower low right here, which is the, let's put this higher. Zoom out a little bit. All right, so we got the 1 hour resistance, then we got the 1 minute resistance. And then you got the 1 minute support down here. So this is pretty much where price is currently ranging. It's ranging between the 1 minute resistance and the 1 minute support down here. See right there where it's rejecting off. So there's our clean chart. And there we go, its price kind of bounces around from here. So you can see there's no direction. Price is just ranging back and forth. It's like literally no direction there. It keeps going back and forth between opening price. This is for the most part normal, so don't worry too much if you guys are kind of confused with what's going on. This is normal for market on Monday. So just keep in mind, guys, Mondays and Fridays are typically the riskier days to trade. Monday because people are re-entering the market from the weekend. Friday because people are exiting the market from the weekend. It's a brand new week. We're a week away from Christmas, so it's getting closer to holidays. Volatility is starting to die down a bit. Yeah, just gotta sit tight and wait for these opportunities to come to you. So don't force any trades, guys. Don't FOMO to anything. Just be patient and wait for these entries to come to you. All right, so there's not really much here. I mean, obviously you guys can see there's not really too much to see here because it's all jumbled up right now, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's probably easier to see if we zoom out a bit, but if you guys do want me to come up a little bit, there's not really much to look at because you can't take anything here. Everything's kind of just going back and forth. There's no direction. Price is going back and forth. And we'll continue to follow, but right here we have a possible buy signal coming up. But it's not really going to matter until price breaks out of this area here. It's going to be between the 1 minute resistance and 1 minute support. So whatever entry does come up right here, it doesn't really matter because you're waiting for it to break out of this area. So I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, because I saw a candle, you asked to make the candles wider. It doesn't really make a difference because for the area right here, it's actually harder to see if it's closer up like this. So that's why I kind of have it zoomed out. But if you want me to zoom in, that's fine. There's just no entries for you to take here regardless, because it's just going back and forth. You can see prices finally breaking outside of it. But even though it does break outside right here, it's going to be stuck within the next sessions right here above. So I probably wouldn't take that V3 breakout, or maybe if it breaks up even higher. At this point, price is kind of overextended though. So there may be a breakout V3, but it's going to be touching the sessions regardless. And it just looks like it just established a new support, sorry, a new resistance. So this resistance just got broken. It could just fake out. So this might be a fake out area and price may come right back down. It's just kind of tough to see where this ends up. Oh, and there goes the upper level liquidity right there if anybody decided to take it. I personally wouldn't have taken it because it's right at the sessions. And you can see right there, again, it's kind of where it's getting rejected off the sessions, which is what we avoid. This is why we don't take trades that touch the sessions or has to touch it to reach your TP. So this may be a possible setup for a breakout V3. If it is a setup, I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take the entry here. So if it closes green, it's a breakout V3. It does not look like it's going to close green. And right there, it didn't close green. It rejected directly off the sessions. And we're back at square one. So at this point right here, there's still nothing for us to look at. We kind of wanted to push away from this area. So if price does push above, let me see if there's any more sessions above here. So if price finally breaks outside of this Asia high, the next level is going to be the London high up here. But you can see how price is getting highly manipulated right here off the session. So again, this is the reason why you want to skip trading any entries that come up around the sessions. If it touches it, or if it has to touch it at some point within your entry, it's best to just leave it alone, wait for the next one. So this is the whole reason why I created this indicator, right? I created this indicator to avoid losses. I mean, technically you can trade off them if you wanted to, but again, you still be trading in a risky trade because you have like a 50% chance to like hit the trade, right? So it's better to be used as a safeguard to avoid trades versus taking them as prices to bounce off them, because sometimes price will bounce off them. And I've seen a lot of people trade off the sessions, but yeah, pretty much these sessions here, they just pretty much give you a heads up that, hey, there's manipulation that might happen right here. So it's best to just avoid the trade versus taking something that's risky. Kempa said those are cheat code. Those areas are cheat code. I think most of my losses happen around them, but never knew. Yeah, I know. I never knew too until I started studying like these structures. Because the thing is, like with support and resistance, they're always going to repeat, right? So you can see how like higher highs get placed all throughout the chart. But the thing with the sessions is that they're there for the entire day. So like price typically goes back to highs and lows of previous sessions. And you can see here that whenever it reaches those points, the purple line right there or the green line right here, price tends to be highly manipulated around those areas. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if those are areas where you might have lost some trades, Camo, because yeah, it was the same situation with me. And that's why I ended up creating this. So there might be a breakout V3 over here that's setting up, guys. Again, it's a little risky because price is kind of in an area where it's hard to tell where price is going to go. It's projecting off the opening price. So again, it's a little bit of a tricky area to be trading in. And then also you have the 1 minute support down here. But either way, it doesn't look like it's going to close red because you can see that price again is being manipulated off the opening price. So you guys can see here that pretty much all of the horizontal lines are areas of manipulation. However, the stronger areas of manipulation are going to be the green lines, purple lines, and red lines because those are the previous session high lows. So opening price is also kind of risky to trade in, but I mean, if you really wanted to trade around opening price, I don't think it's like super bad because price typically will like break through it and then it'll come back. You guys know the back to open type movement. So opening price isn't as horrible as the sessions. But again, right here, price is just going back and forth. You can see if you look at any area where price pretty much rejects off, it's off these horizontal lines. So purple line right here bounced off. Green line right here bounced off. This is the New York high. Price came back to opening price, bounced directly off there. So, these horizontal lines that I draw on the chart, left to right, these lines aren't here for like random. These are here for a reason. They're pretty much to give you guys a heads up to avoid certain trades around those areas. And that's why I have such a high win rate because I'm good at avoiding bad trades. I think once you guys are able to lock that down, you guys will have like a crazy high win rate because there's going to be a bunch of entries that come up, but it's really understanding which ones to take and which ones to avoid. So. Hey, what's up, Paul? Oh, nice. Yeah, Paul, good to see you here. Merry Christmas. Yeah, I know. I see you pop in every once in a while from month to month, and it looks like you take a new career path. So I'm glad to hear that. But yeah, good to see that you're still on here, checking things out and stuff. It's always good to see old faces here, guys. So, I know some of you guys here might have stopped trading for a while or came back to trading or decided to take a different career path. But it's always good to see a lot of old faces here. So yeah, definitely good to hear, Paul. And glad that you're enjoying that. Yeah. So unfortunately, guys, I know this is probably not what you guys want to hear, but trading isn't for everybody. Like I know a lot of people have tried to trade and a lot of people try to force it on themselves, but if it's not for you, it's really not for you. Like I make trading look super easy, but it's really not that easy. It's because I've been trading for so many years that it just comes as second nature to me. So just keep that in mind, guys. I mean, trading, so like I always remind you guys this, like I probably say this once a year, trading can be for everyone, but it's not for everyone. So it depends on how you take it and how it fits with your trading style and your personality. You can make it for you, but again, if it doesn't fit for you, you don't need to force it on yourself. But if you guys are like one of the people that can make it work for you, it makes a huge, it can make a huge change in the way that you operate. Let's see, Rashida said when price goes back up to liquidity, it might blast through. Yeah, so we got liquidity sitting up here, guys. If it goes back up for the retest, I do agree with Rashida. It might break through and continue climbing. Sorry, guys, one second. I'm just trying to get this winter cold. All right, so price is pushing up right here. The only problem is that it's so close to the sessions right here that it might be manipulated out price again. So yeah, I don't mind it pushing through. I actually want the buy signal to break through it, but I want it to actually break and close past it so that the next candle for the breakout V3 will be a continuation, and it'll be okay to take as long as it doesn't touch the sessions up here. I'm okay with taking any trade that don't touch the sessions, and don't have to touch the sessions. So just keep that in mind. That's something I'd be looking for here. As you can see, there's a lot of V1 patterns here that have been coming up. There's a V1 pattern right here, shot up from here, and then it just went straight through. So we got a buy signal coming up right here. The only problem with this now is that if it pushes up too high, it's going to be close to the London high right here. So I don't mind it breaking past it, but I just don't want it to go too high, right? So we need that buy signal to close. All right, so it closed right there. If this here closes green, this may be a breakout V3, the actual breakout V3. If you do want to take it, I probably would only take it for a partial, maybe 100 pips. And again, it looks like price is getting manipulated off the sessions right here. So again, if you want to take this as a V3, make sure it doesn't touch the sessions, because if it touches the sessions, it might be opportunity for manipulation, of course. But yeah, if this here closes green, this might be a setup for a breakout V3 if anybody's looking. Again, if you want to take it, I would probably recommend only taking it for 100 pips, because if you go for 300, price is going to come up and touch the sessions up here. So you probably want to go for 100 pips only if you are looking to take this here. Again, you have to wait for the candle to actually close. Like, it has to close green, like for sure. If it's an iffy trade, I would just sit out of it, because you can see how the candle is moving a bit blocky, and it didn't close right there. So unfortunately, there's no entry there for a breakout V3. I would have been okay to take it if it did close green, but it had to be like for sure green. And you can see price is starting to get manipulated back to the downside right here as it comes back to the sessions. But this is typical for Monday, guys. So, as I mentioned, Mondays should typically be used as a feeler day, meaning that you should use Monday to feel out the market, right? Because however Monday moves, like for example, Monday's moving like very blocky and very choppy right now, back and forth. If this is the case and the market moves this way today and moves this way tomorrow, it's probably going to be choppy all week. So Mondays and Tuesdays should usually be used as days to identify when these types of movements are happening in the market. Because if this is happening on Monday and Tuesday, odds are this is probably going to continue happening on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Looking at the news for today, or for this week, actually. So we have medium impact news coming up at 7 o'clock, which is fine. Hopefully this pushes price away from where it's currently at. Tomorrow we have high impact news pre-market. We have building permits, housing starts, housing starts month over month, building permits month over month. We have existing home sales. So basically a lot of home sale, like home news. So like mortgages, interest rates, home news, existing home sales month over month. And currently we have GDP growth rate on Thursday, continuing jobless claims. So we have jobs news, housing news, and GDP this week. And on Friday, we have personal income, personal spending. PC price index, some more inflation news. So basically just a bunch of economic news this week. Not anything specific, but like housing, mortgage news, interest rates, GDP price index, and inflation right here on Friday. Today we have an NHB housing market index, so obviously housing news. This is going to pretty much give you the idea of like where price is going to go. So we have the first housing news event right here on Monday. Tomorrow we have housing starts, building permits, and pretty much all housing news Monday to Tuesday. Wednesday we have some more housing news, existing home sales. And then Thursday we have jobless claims, and Friday we have inflation news. So that's pretty much it. And then some more housing news over here. So it's basically housing, inflation news, and I mean, that's pretty much it. All right, so we got the V3 over here setting up for the sell, like Nathan said, but again, it's touching the sessions, guys, so I would not mess with it. For me personally, if you guys want to take it, feel free, I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take this trade here. It's touching the sessions. It's just a little too risky for me, so I'll mark it up right here. It might go back to open, so this could be a decent entry. It's the only problem here is that it's touching the session, so that's kind of throwing it off for me right there. But here we go with the V3, the breakout V3. So full TP, if you went for 100 pips, there goes a full TP right there for the first one. And then if you're going for the full move, it's still pushing through. We do have news right here at 7 o'clock, so keep your head on focus for that. But yeah, here goes the breakout V3. So it's currently running right now. The 100 pips already hit. So if anybody caught it for 100 pips, great. I didn't take it because of the sessions right here. Same with Camo as well. He said he wanted to sell, but the session stopped me. Yeah, same with me. I just didn't feel comfortable taking it because this is what burned me last Friday, remember? So last Friday, I took a trade that happened at the news, and then I got caught in the fake out and not news, sorry, at the sessions. And ended up getting stopped out there. So the 300 pip move is still currently running right now, as you guys can see. There's multiple breakouts running alongside this one right here. So we have the initial breakout, and then we have the breakout V2 that's currently running. Yeah, the breakout V2 is currently running alongside. I'm not going to FOMO into this trade. I'm just going to follow it and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, it's a little too close to news right here. So we do have the breakout V2 that's also running alongside it. Two entries running right next to each other. And then we also have, well, the original breakout probably happened. Let me see. The original breakout could have happened at a lot of places here. It looks like it might have happened down here, but not one that I would have messed with because of the spiky movement here on open. So it looks like the breakout V3 just hit full TP. And there it goes as it continues to drop lower. So the breakout V3 happened right here. We had a sell signal followed by a red candle. It broke right through. Technically, you don't need to look at the red flags, but for me personally, I like to look at the red flags because I like to be a little bit careful. This is the breakout V2 that's currently running. So let me just take this off real quick. This is the breakout V3, full TP right here. Red sell signal followed by a red candle. Push straight down to 300 pips. So that's the first entry right there for the breakout V3. And then we have the breakout V2 setting up where it's running right now. We had a sell signal followed by two red candles. So the entry would have happened right here on the close of this candle. And it's coming down right now to full TP almost. I would have been maybe a little more inclined to take the second one, but I don't want to risk it. I'll just follow up on the next one that comes up after. Because we do have news coming up right here at 7 o'clock. So. Yeah, Nick over here said goes against sentiment and Sessions is right there, so he avoided it as well. Yeah, and that's probably the better decision right there, Nick. So like as I mentioned, I'm not here to force any trades here on Monday. I'll follow trades if they do come up, but I'm not going to force anything, not going to FOMO into anything. I got to be the example for you guys because if I'm not the example, everyone's going to be getting into risky trades here. So looks good for the most part. I mean, it's still coming down. It might come down and retest the sessions down here or test it initially. I don't think it's tested the sessions yet. Yeah, so you guys can see over here that price tested the sessions right here, the purple line. It created it during Asia session over here. And then it's coming back for the retest. But you can see that it's starting to slow down a bit. Normal for the most part. Here are my Forex trades. You can see my Forex trades right now. My balance is almost at 11,000 now. So I'm up about like 10, almost 11% on my account. I'm doing swing trades on my Forex. So I'll come back and I'll just kind of swing back and forth between these to show you guys where my account's sitting. These trades are pretty much, I don't really touch them at all until the end of the session. So all my trades are doing pretty solid so far. All right, we currently have this one that's currently running. This is the breakout V2, it's still running in profit. Breakout V3 hit. I'm not going to count these trades. So these trades are going to hit. You guys can see they hit full TP. That's in. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Yeah, I'm starting to lose my voice with this cold. Vimal is asking what strategy is FX based on. There's no specific strategy for Vimal. I'm just trading based off. Well, I mean, there's a specific strategy, but it's not one that I'm sharing with the public. It's basically a V1 it's like a V1 variation, but there's no set TP stop loss for it. So it is pretty much it's a V1 variation, but there's no set TP stop loss because it's a swing trade. So I'm looking at V1s in like both directions. So I basically just flip the trade. So that's pretty much your hint there. I mean, that pretty much explained the whole strategy. But I know for others, they might not be able to understand that. But really, it's just a V1 variation. There's no bias or anything. It's just V1s. And then when the next V1 comes up, it flips. So you're pretty smart. I know you can figure it out. But that's literally the strategy. I don't want to make it like so open to the public, but it's such a simple strategy and it works very well. Let's see, Mohammed is asking, Kodi Kai, what do you know trading FTMO holding trades 1 minute and closing, do they allow? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. We've done that before. I mean, a lot of our trades close within a minute. A lot of us here get payouts, so I'm pretty sure they're fine with it. Not within seconds though, so it can't be like a split second. So our trades usually run for like maybe a couple of seconds. But a split second, if your trade's opening and closing within like a split second, then that's obviously a bot, and they don't allow bots. So I mean, yeah, you gotta realistically, it's impossible to really get in and out of a position like that because of the spread. So Martha's asking, what time frame do you enter on? Sorry, Martha, what are you referring to? Are you referring to these entries here? Because we're still on 1 minute. Pretty much all the entries here on the live session are all in 1 minute. So there's nothing here that's changed really. I mean, people still enter on different time frames, but for the most part, everything that we do here on the live session is still done on 1 minute. So we got news coming up right here, guys, in about a minute. I don't know what's up with my countdown on my FTMO. For some reason, it's not working, but I'm gonna have to just reset my MC4. But all right, we have the news coming right here at 7 o'clock. Yeah, no problem, Mohammed. Martha's asking, I trade on the daily time frame, Martha, for that. It's not a strategy, so I don't think you should use it, Martha. I think for you, you probably shouldn't use it because you have to like kind of know what you're doing with it. It's not something that like because there's different confluences you kind of look at. And like it's not something where it's just like, oh, you see a V1 and you take it, right? There's like different things that you have to look at with the market. Like, for example, I'm only applying them on like major pairs. It's not something that you can apply for like, I mean, technically you can apply it on like different assets, but you have to actually understand how that asset moves. You can't be using it on like every single thing that comes up or in every single asset that kind of plays. I'm only using it on major pairs for Forex. All right, so the news is right here, guys. Let me mark up news real quick. But yeah, short answer to your question is it's on the daily time frame. It's a swing strategy, so it's not something that's being changed or adjusted at all. It's just whenever you see adjustments that need to be made, you basically make them once a day at the end of the session. Because it's something that you hold on to for like a couple days and whatnot. A couple days, couple weeks. I mean, for however long that V1 runs for. All right, so we got news right here. News was positive. Thanks, Jay, for confirming that. So we got NAHB Housing Market Index over here. Last month was 34. They were forecasting P36. It was actually more. It was 37. So price is supposed to go up from here. So here's what you can look for. Price comes down super heavy right here, which is fine. We actually want that to happen. We want price to be manipulated to the downside. So we actually want price to come down, and then we want to catch it as it corrects back up, right? That's one thing that you guys want to look out for. If price pushes up, that's fine. That's where price is supposed to go. And it just means that price was never manipulated to begin with. So if that's the case, then there's no news correction entry that you guys can take. So you actually need to see, price pull back pretty hard in manipulation in order for you to really take a trade as a correction type move. But right here, there's no correction yet because price is like literally at news price. And there's just nothing for you to follow that at the moment. So it looks like right at news price, it actually set up for a breakout V3 continuation. I don't know if anybody saw that, but it was right at the news price. Obviously, I wouldn't take it because that's too risky. But yeah, there is a breakout V3 continuation right there. There's a buy signal followed by a green candle, and it looks like price might be pushing up. So what I would look out for here is I'd probably look for price to pull down a little bit, and then obviously go up. But it was right at news, so I wouldn't have taken the trade there because it happened directly at news. But odds of it pushing up higher are pretty likely, in my opinion. There's something wrong with my quick trade manager. There was something wrong with it. Okay, so I fixed it. I was like wondering why the timer was all messed up. All right, looks good. So this is exactly what we were looking for. So all right, we got price kind of coming down right here from where it's currently at. I would be careful. I probably wouldn't take any sells right here, at least not at the moment, because I'm expecting a correction back up. And I don't think there'd be any sells here to take anyways, because it's right at the opening price down here. So ATR is currently at 14 right now, so there's no momentum pullback scalps that are available. There might be some high-low scalps, but it's right at the sessions. So we do have a high-low scalp that might be setting up right here. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Yes, we have a high-low scalp that might be setting up right here. The only problem with this is that it's literally right at the session, so it's not one that I really recommend too much. Also with this entry right here, if there's a breakout V3 continuation, I probably wouldn't take it because it's going to have to come down and push through the sessions, which is not ever recommended. I mean, I'll leave this here if it sets up, but I still wouldn't mess with it. Yeah, Kevin said high-low scalp V2 is currently running. Yeah, so it looks like there's one running over here from the, let's see. Yeah, it'd be this level right here, right? So we had price breaking close past it, came back up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, there is a high-low scalp V2 that's currently running right now. But again, it's just, so the volatility is too low. If you're going for 300 pips here, it's just way too low. And it's going to have to cut through the sessions right here. So market's really not moving fast enough for you to have that type of movement there. Here goes the correction back up to opening price. So if anybody was trying to trade the news price, you guys can see right here, this is a V1 pattern that we look for. So we had news right here, but it didn't pull back far enough. So I wouldn't have taken the trade here because I wanted to actually pull back, pretty far and then correct right back up. So this right here would have been the news correction type entry. There's like multiple places to enter from. If you guys remember, we kind of discussed this last week where there was news right here at 7 o'clock. The news was positive, so we're expecting price to push to the upside. So there's multiple opportunities for entry when following something like this, because price will come down and then it'll give you a V1 variation or like breaking structure like the sessions, and that'll allow you to take this as, obviously a buy from here and then ride it back up to where it's supposed to go, which is about 300 pips. So this right here would be the news correction entry if you guys are looking for that. So this is kind of what we were waiting for, but it didn't really push far enough. So price came down from news price right here. It only came down about 200 pips, which is not really enough in my opinion. I like price to push down a bit further. So that, say for example, if price comes down like, say close to the sessions right here, right? It's at 28 points or 280 pips. If that's the case, and then you start to look for the long position right here, odds of you hitting your 300 pips are very likely because you're getting in at the very bottom, and price is pretty much pushing up to the correction area, which would be the news price right there. So that's the way I like to take it. I like getting it at a pretty good discount. But I mean, technically, this could have been the first entry right here. Yeah, V3, Camo said V3 sell happened. He didn't take it. He's sure that his losses came from sessions. Yeah, because that's exactly where it would have happened from, right? This area right here, Camo. So just keep an eye out for the sessions. Opening price and news price are still risky, but they're not as risky as the sessions. The sessions are usually areas where you definitely want to avoid. Like I created this indicator specifically for that because we kept losing trades, and I'm like, man, why do we keep losing trades? And then I did a bunch of research on like areas to avoid. I always look at different strategies to not necessarily to apply the strategies, but to look for any reasons to avoid any trades. And the thing is, a lot of people like to trade at these sessions, which I started to realize that are very high manipulative areas. So instead of using it as areas to trade from, I use it as areas to avoid trades from. But the ATR is pretty low, as you guys can see down here. The ATR is currently 13 right now. So it's still super low. So there's movement, but it's not really direction movement. Price keeps going back and forth. Also, there's no momentum pullback scalps that we can take. The high-low scalp V2 is still currently running right now, but I think it's one that would have been, let's see, let me mark up 630 real quick. I mean, it's still running, and you can see there it is still running right now. But again, it's gonna run into some issues right here at the sessions, I think. Price is pretty much just going back and forth. So here's our clean chart. I mean, the chart's pretty messy. So if you look closer, if I was to take out this 1 hour resistance level, let me delete this real quick. So if you look at this here, price is pretty much bouncing between the 1 minute resistance and the 1 minute support. There's fake outs above and fake outs below. So price comes up, fakes out, comes back below, fakes out. But realistically, price is just going in between this area here. I'll put the 1 hour resistance back up right there. And you guys can see that, I mean, these zones here don't really matter too much because you can see the fake outs are still happening outside here. And then another fake out down below here. And it just keeps going back and forth within this area. All right, so back to our charts over here. So we have a pinning buy signal here. If this closes, I mean, maybe this will be the correction that you guys have been looking for a breakout V3 variation. I haven't taken anything today yet. Kind of just waiting for the ideal entry to come up. I think if this does close as a buy entry, or let me see, as a buy signal, let me check the sentiment. Sentiment's at 75%, so it's went down a little bit. Fundamentals here are still neutral. Technicals over here. So long term looks like price is still bullish, but short term price is pretty much neutral. So there's not really much of a bias today at all. Price just keeps going, back and forth, of course. Cameron said we have to talk about. I'm literally mind blown. I used to believe in taking all strong setups no matter what. Yeah, exactly, Camo. So, my main goal here is not necessarily to win a lot of trades. My main goal is to like not lose any trades. So, some people just approach the market differently. Some people focus on just making a bunch of wins. For me, I'm focused on not losing, because if you don't lose and you just win a couple of trades here and there, your win ratio is going to stay up and you're just going to keep stacking profits. That's why I have such a high win rate, because I avoid a lot of entries that can possibly be taken, right? So it's just price right here is in a red flag area, but it's not super horrible. But you can see again right here, when price got near news price, it just got manipulated back down. So you can see price is having trouble getting past news price right here. All these horizontal lines, they need something. They're not there for any random reason. Pink line, their news price. You can see price came up to news price again right here, faked out, came down super hard. And then the sessions right here too. You might get a sell signal, but again, the sessions here is going to be a problem. So if you do get an entry down here, so annoying. One second, guys. That's so annoying that I'm like losing my voice, because I just lose my voice in the middle of a sentence. I'll be saying something that my voice just goes out. Yeah, I got kind of sick during the trip. So I was on vacation in Hawaii last week, if you guys remember. It was raining pretty much every day out there, and I think it got me sick. Riga said weird day. Brock said very weird week coming up. Yeah, no, the week is, and the weekend, the day is pretty much, well, we'll see. If it continues to move like this tomorrow, then, just be on the lookout for a lot of these fake outs. But the thing is, it's not really a big problem for us because we have the sessions, right? So we have a sessions indicator here that will pretty much tell you where to avoid trades. So even if we do get some weird market movement throughout the week, we'll know exactly where to avoid trades because we have the sessions here to pretty much give us that heads up. So here's one thing to look out for. When price comes down and touches this purple line here, which is the Asia low, watch to see whether price fakes out or whether it breaks through it. My guess is that if price does come down to this point, it's probably going to fake out around this area and come right back up. And that's going to give us an opportunity to take a breakout V3 continuation. So I actually want that to happen, because I want price to fake out down here, provide a buy signal. And then when it climbs up around this area right here, we can take that for a quick push to the upside, right? Like I want to set up right here so I can take this and have it push back up to open. So I'm fine with the fake out here. I actually want price to come down and fake out. The fake out will work out in our favor. So I want the sell signal to come up, give me some fake out down here, and then, yeah, this is fine. I want the sell signal to come out, fake out around this area, and then when it's down here, climb its way back up. It's just patience. Yeah, exactly. Rashida said patience is key. It's just waiting for that trade to come to you guys. A lot of people try to force trades, but realistically, it's just waiting for that ideal entry. You guys can see we marked up a bunch of entries that came up, some breakout V3s, breakout V2s, the high-low scalp V2 that's currently running right here. So this might actually hit. So looking at this high-low scalp V2, it's not one I would take because of the sessions down here. But as you can see, price is coming down. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down, hits TP. Once it hits TP right there, it makes its way right back up. Right? And this is what I want to happen. I actually want this to play through so that we have accountability for this entry. Then you have price kind of swing back up and correct back to open price. There's no other news events today, so I think that's pretty much it for us to look out for. We got news at 8:30, but it's low impact. It's going to be past our live session time. So again, here we go. As price comes down and tests the sessions that I just mentioned, look out for that fake out. So price is coming down to the sessions right here. So ideally, this is where we want price to come. If you're in this high-low scalp V2, I'd probably pull out right here or somewhere close, because this is where the manipulation will happen. Ideally, you want price to come down. We want price to come down here because this is going to be a full TP for this strategy. But the sessions right here can have a different thing in place for it, right? This can just be manipulated exactly at this purple line. So let's go over here to our main chart, see a bit better with no markups on the chart. We'll come back to the high-low scalp V2 once this is kind of played through. I just want to see what happens here at this purple line. So right here, and the sell signal didn't close, unfortunately. I wanted it to close there because I want price to swing back up. But again, see where price is currently at the sessions. See how price kind of flatlines? It was moving kind of heavy. As soon as it touched the sessions there, it just got flat because there's no, and then now it's pushing back up for the fake out. There's no telling what happens right here on the sessions. I know some people like to catch the moves around this area, but for the most part, here, Patricia, let me check real quick. I'm going to check real quick. I'm pretty sure you have access to it, but let me. Let's see, I'm at the sessions. So I'm pretty sure we checked yesterday, the last time. Yeah, Patricia, it shows that you have it. So try to check your thing, Patricia. Go to your go to your invite only scripts. I don't know if you're trying to search for it, because if you're searching for it, you're probably not going to find it. But if you go to your invite only scripts, it should be right here at the sessions high low. Because it shows that you have it, Patricia, so you should have it. Just don't search for it. So if you guys have the access to my indicators, don't like go into the search bar here and search K2, because you're not going to find it there. They're all private scripts, so like you're not going to be able to find it there. But if you go to invite only, it'll be right here under sessions high low. You should have it, Patricia. Okay, no problem. Yeah, if you still have any issues, Patricia, just let me know. I'll have the support team disable it and then re-enable it if that's the case. But it does show that you have it, so you might be mixing it up with the different indicators that are on there, but it should be on there. Okay, so as you guys can see right here, it faked out right at the purple line, exactly how we anticipated. And this is why we avoid trades at the sessions. And Kamala just said mind blown. Yeah, so Kamala's like mind blown. And this is probably where a lot of you guys get caught in fake outs, right? Because I see a lot of people who will take a trade and they're like confused why they lost the trade. You just got to turn on your sessions, guys. If you turn on your sessions, it'll almost tell you exactly where it's getting stuck at. So you can see how it faked out there, but it's coming back down. So again, ideally, we're expecting price to come down, but so here's the thing though, Kamala. Like the problem with this is that once I start to show this to a lot of people, what happens is they start to take trades at these levels, right? Which in a sense is okay, but in a lot of cases, you should just avoid them. Because you can see right here, our price bounced off this area. Some people like to take trades directly off this. They see the bounce and then they ride this to the upside, which is completely fine if you have a proper risk to reward, because this is a super risky type entry. You can see again right here, people will see like the bounce off the sessions and they'll take that for a quick trade. And then it just becomes a bad habit because a lot of people take random trades around those areas and it's not always going to bounce. Sometimes price will break past it. It just becomes, when you start to develop a bad habit and you start to get lucky with the trade, it starts to instill the wrong trading habits that you should be following, because you should really be following a trading plan. If that's how you trade, that's completely fine. But just make sure it's part of your trading plan. But I never really recommend you trade off the sessions, because sometimes it'll break through, sometimes it'll bounce off. It's very similar to like support and resistance, except it's very stronger because it's due to the previous session. Desley, yeah, no official trades today. I haven't taken anything myself. There was a breakout V2 that came up and a breakout V3 that came up over here. So earlier this morning, this area right here, there was a breakout V3 that came up right here. It was a full TP. And then right next to it, there's a breakout V2 right here, which was also a full TP. So there's two breakouts that came up, full TPs. The high-low scalp V2 is currently running in profit right now, but there's no official entries that we've taken today. The market's been kind of going back and forth. There's a lot of red flags here, so I haven't been taking anything myself. I'm just watching the market, waiting for the ideal entry to come up, which hasn't came up yet. So no official trades yet, but we're still waiting. So it's 7:20 right now. The ATR has been pretty much low all day today too as well. So you can see how the ATR here is pretty much at 12. This provides no entries for any momentum pullback scalps. So again, right here, guys, price is at the purple line, which is the sessions. I want the sell signal to close, but obviously I'm going to be a little careful with it. So it finally closed right there. We did get the sell signal. Be careful for the manipulation right here again, just like what happened right here. So on the second touch, this might break through. Usually if it comes back for the retest, it'll probably break through. It's probably going to finish the move here for the high-low scalp V2. I wouldn't take this as a V3 breakout because it's touching the sessions. If this here kept continue to drop further and didn't touch the sessions, I would have taken that for a V3. But since it's touching it, it becomes a red flag. So I wouldn't take the trade there if that's what you're looking for. So here are my Forex trades. My Forex trades are now currently at 263. So I'm up about 11% on that account. Back over here to our main chart. Our clean chart over here. I think there's probably more structure here to look at. All right, so here's our clean chart. Price is dropping, but it's hitting a support level. So it might. So again, ideally, we want price to come down and hit TP and then swing back up. That's kind of the ideal setup right there that we're looking for. Want this to come down, hit its full TP, and then go right back up. Again, you can see prices at the session. It's having trouble getting past it. This is normal. This is why we avoid trades at the sessions. If it bounces off this point and swings up, that's fine. It's still the setup that we were looking for. It just didn't get down to its full TP. But again, right here, the sessions is like, it's an issue. It's an issue for price to get past the. See, Camo said, learning the most on these boring trading days. I never typed this much in the chat. Yeah, no, exactly, Camo. You should always be learning. So I think that's good that you kind of, you made the, the leap to join the group and to come back into the group because, I'm pretty sure this is something that's probably going to be game changing for you in general. Because at this point, now you know where to avoid trades, like for sure avoid trades. And I think your win rate is just going to go up, like it's going to go through the roof. Because I think a lot of the trades that you have taken and lost are probably at these sessions. Because the sessions usually they're going to be around pretty much every morning. Because what this indicator does is it plots the Asia high low from yesterday. So like yesterday market opened for Sunday. It pretty much marked up the high lows from that session and then the New York session and then the London session from the previous day. This price typically goes back to those price points. Those are considered like critical price points, right? Previous session high lows. All right, so we have a buy signal right here. And this might set up for a breakout V3 continuation. I might go back to opening price right there. So if anybody's looking to take that, no, I think a quick 100 pips would be fine. So the setup right here that I marked up, it's pretty much doing that, but it just didn't come down far enough. But it did come down and now it's swinging back up to news price right here for the correction. But you can see the candles aren't strong enough. So you can see over here, it's trying to close with that buy signal, but it just gets dragged right back down at the last couple of seconds of the candle. So again, we'll just follow this and see where it goes. This is one that I might be okay with taking because I was looking for this pattern to set up. I just got to see how the next candle closes and I got to see how this candle closes too. So there may be a breakout V3 continuation here. If it closes green, which I would be kind of okay taking only for 100 pips, just a quick push. Because you can see how price faked out right here. And it looks like, so we have a V1 right here and it's pushing through. So if this here closes green, quick 100 pips in and out, that'd be most ideal. But again, you got to wait for it. So like right now we got 20 seconds left on the candle. It's coming back down. This might not even set up for the type of entry that we're looking for. Yeah, so it looks like there might not be a breakout V3 continuation here, unfortunately, guys. Nope, it's not looking like it. Look, it would have been a good setup too, because we had a V1 pattern right here. And then, yeah, unfortunately, no entry there, guys. So this is the confluence that we typically like to look for. We like to look for the double body down below for a V1 because this establishes a floor position. And it's also at a lower low. So we had a V1 pattern right here, not a V1 variation because there's no bias, but this is a V1 pattern. This is basically a reversal pattern. And then if it was followed by a breakout V3 continuation, then odds of it continue climbing at least 100 pips are very likely. It probably would have climbed up to opening price, that blue line. But unfortunately, no entry there. This is typical for a Monday. So again, guys, there's no need to force any trades here. If you guys see anything good or anything that fits your trading plan, feel free to take it. But we've been following the charts for the day and there's not really much going on here. There might be a sell signal that would come up, but even if we do get a sell signal here, it's not going to be enough we're not going to have enough space to take it because it's going to hit the sessions before we're able to hit our TP. So here we go. This price continues to basically just go back and forth. All right. Yeah, we're actually crazy Monday, I say. Yeah, there's not really too much going on here, guys. So it looks like this is the new range within the previous support level and the new support level. You can see how price kind of faked out above here. Now it's kind of just going sideways right here. The ATR has been low pretty much all day. So I don't think we've seen the ATR go above 15 pretty much all session. Which, I mean, it's typical for a Monday. You're either going to so Mondays are either going to start off with a bang or it's going to start off really slow. Today, it kind of started off with a bang initially, and then it flattened out. But again, there's no need to force any trades here, guys. So if there's nothing here that you guys see, which I obviously don't see anything, no need to take anything. The high-low scalp V2, hopefully if you guys took this trade, you guys pulled out when I mentioned down here. I said this is where I recommend pulling out of at the sessions because there's a lot of manipulation that happens around this area. And if you guys did, you would have locked in some pretty good profit right there, like 200 pips. However, the trade's still technically running, so price can come back down. The only thing with this here is that you're going to be holding on to this position for a long time. This position should have been hit like immediately. And now you're getting this back and forth movement here. So this is like this is probably the worst position to be holding. Worst type of position you're holding because price is realistically going sideways. If you look over here on the clean chart, price has pretty much been ranging between this area here. So if you measure time from this candle right here to here, it's actually been going sideways for about 40 minutes. So it's been going sideways for a long time here. 40 minutes, almost up to an hour. It's getting close to 7:30 right now. So if you guys remember, I mentioned 7:30 is usually my cutoff time to take any entries because the volatility dies down even more. The volatility is already slow. And you can see here, it's getting even slower. It was at like 15, 14, 13. Now it's at 11. And you can see from these candles here that there's not very much movement happening. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. If I see something really good, I'll take it as an entry. But as of now, we don't even have much of a trend right here as price continues to go sideways. So there's not really much to take here. So I'll continue looking for entries, but for the most part, there's just not really much here to take or even to follow. If we get a sell signal here again, there's not going to be any opportunity for me to take because it's going to be too close to the sessions down here. The good thing for me is that my Forex trades are still running in profit. So my Forex trades are now currently in profit, 267 for the day. They're up like 1,000 last week. I closed out 2 of my positions. So as you can see over here for my GU and my EU trade, they were in buy positions last week. I closed them out for about 500 profit, and then I flipped them to the short side. So pretty much just flipped them. My odd USD over here is running pretty nice. And I don't have a TP here. So like when price hits the TP area, I either hold on to it or I just close out. But I typically just hold on to it until I try to ride the position for as long as I can. So here's my UJ trade running in profit. USD CHF, it's currently at opening price. Your USD currently at opening price. GU's looking good. Everything over here is, I mean, it's pretty much going sideways for the most part. Deswell said, shot in the new year, are you going to be sending out trades? No, I'm not. So we're never going to go back to the signal service, guys. Well, not that I anticipated for. So I don't think I'm ever going to do signals again. Though those forex trades they're just my personal trades. They're a strategy that I'm working for towards like the hedge account. So if I start to do account management, it'll be it'll probably be that strategy. It's not going to be like a high profitable strategy. Well, I mean, technically it can be if you have a big enough account, but for per trade, I'm only risking about like 3%. So it's not, and it's a swing trade. So those trades run for like, I mean, they could run for days, they could run for weeks. They're profitable. They just take a long time to hit. So no, I don't plan on sending any trades out because I don't ever plan on becoming a signal service. You know, if anything, being a signal service just takes too long. So for me personally, I don't think I'll be really doing that. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe my mind will change as well. So I don't want to say for sure I'm not going to ever send those out, but for the most part, I don't have any plan to send any signals out. I just hate sending signals, guys. Sending signals is just too much work for me because I got to be on the computer all day, and I just like trading in the morning. That's pretty much it. Because then if I start sending out signals, then it's going to be my responsibility to get on the computer at like, you know, the time I have to make adjustments, which a lot of times I'm not on the computer at that time. So yeah, it's just live sessions as well. So pretty much everything here is just live. There's nothing here that's done on the signal. But eventually, so once I start I still have plans of starting my hedge fund at some point. I just need to get my licensing done and stuff like that. So once I do get that stuff down, I'll probably do account management, which will probably be better for a lot of you guys anyways, because I'll be doing all the executions on the trades and you don't have to actually do stuff yourself, right? I think doing that, I think signals is like harder for a lot of people because it's hard for them to really hold on to the positions. Yeah, exactly. C6 said not worth the effort. It's just easier for me to execute the trades. Um, yeah, exactly. C6 said, remember when you had me and the group work on signals off London? Yeah, because the thing is I'm on New York time, so even if I was to do signals, it would happen at the turnover of the day. Yeah, or maybe we'll just do like a test run. Because since I'm swing trading now, like for these entries here on Forex, I don't really have to be on the computer as much. These trades just pretty much run pretty much all day. The only times I make adjustments to this is at the end of the day. So like when the market turns over to the next day. So for example, today's Monday at 2 o'clock my time, it switches over to the next day. That's the only time I really look at that's the only time I really look to make adjustments. So, I mean, who knows? I'll provide signals, but if you guys know me as well as majority of you guys do, I try to do the least amount of work as possible. So I'm not trying to do too much work for the most part. I try to do the least amount of the work as possible. And so here's a problem too with signals. With signals, it's everybody's on a different broker, right? So that's the big complaint that we used to get all the time is like that people would complain about the pricing being different. I trade my personal account on forex.com. So for me personally, that's kind of where I have to set it. But we'll see. Anyways, guys, there's no entries for us right now. So I know we're kind of going off topic, but there's just nothing for us to take here. You can see prices pretty much going back and forth between this 1 minute level support and this 1 minute level support. They're pretty much, I mean, it's really just ranging around this area. It's now consolidating within this level of support right here. It's just going back and forth. I mean, if price breaks above it, great, but it wouldn't really matter because we wouldn't have any entries here. We currently have a buy signal already, so what we would need is we would need a sell signal to come down and then swing back up. And then from there, we can take our buys, right? Right here, there's just nothing for us to take. I mean, possibly we can take a sell as price comes back down, but I wouldn't really be inclined to take that because the ATR is so low. The ATR is now at 10 points. So it is, I mean, there's not really much going on here. You guys can see it's pretty clear that price is just going sideways. Like about to draw structure right here. And I turn this off. You guys can see there's not really much going on here, right? Price is pretty much just ranging right here. So yeah, if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat, but there's not really much going on here at all. Price is just ranging right here. There's just nothing for us to take here or even look at. All right, so price is currently at news price. It's bouncing directly off it, and we'll see what happens there next. And for these trades here that I trade, they're just major pairs, guys. So I'm only trading odd USD, anything paired with the USD. So odd USD, Euro USD, GBP USD, NZD USD, USD CAD setup here that I'm probably looking for. And there's only one other entry that I look to take, maybe. Yeah, that's crazy. If I took the trade here for NZD USD, I would have been super heavy in profit. Stop loss could have been right there at 205. So I just started using this recently. Yeah, the full TP would have gotten hit right there. Probably would have kept holding on to it. But you can see like this entry over here for NZD USD, this trade would have been running for a long time. So you would have been holding this position for like 33 days. I mean, it makes a massive profit, but yeah, a lot of people can't hold on to positions for that long. Everything's looking good though. My odd USD over here is currently in profit. 134 pips right now. Forex is a lot different compared to US30 though. Super slow. All right, so we got price maybe coming back down right here, but again, I don't really expect too much to happen here, guys. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm kind of curious if there's any entries here that were running for like US30. The US30 is a different type of asset. It's not something that you can really swing trade. Like, I mean, technically you can. I mean, looking at it here, yeah, I guess technically you can. It's just kind of impossible to get in at these good entry points. And if you're taking a trade like this is 1,024 points. So this is like 10,000 pips that you'd be holding on to it for. And the problem with this here is that they typically don't align with each other. Yeah, they typically don't align. And due to the, I mean, I guess I could probably, no, it won't work out. The problem with US30, like you can't really swing trade US30 because it's so expensive to trade. Like even if you're to trade like penny sizes, it just wouldn't make sense. That's why I prefer to do Forex because it's a ranging asset. It's easier to just trade back and forth. All right, so we have a possible V3 continuation right here, but again, it's not really one that I would maybe take because it's coming down to the sessions. Let me see where it's at. Yeah, it's too far down. But yeah, it's a V3 sell right here that's kind of setting up. If anybody wants to take it, the only problem is that, so if you want to take it, I would probably pull out early. there's a V3 sell right here. If he gets close to the sessions right here, you got to pull out. You can't get greedy at that point because it might just reject off. So if you guys want to take this entry right here, you can take it. It's not closing. So we'll see how this here closes. It's got 10 seconds left on it. It has to close red. I'll follow it, but I'm not going to take the trade. It's too risky here because it's so close to the sessions. And looks like there's no entry there. So this candle didn't close red. So there's no V3 sell at that point. That was a close one, Nathan. I was kind of getting a little tempted too. If it closed like right here where the body was just like a little red, because you'd be able to hit your GP before it hits the sessions. But unfortunately didn't end up closing. Man, this market kind of sucks today, but it's okay. So now that we see that the market sucks today, this is going to give us more of an idea of like what to expect tomorrow. I think there's more news events tomorrow, so it might be, see, so we got it's a lot of pre-market news. So we have building permits at 5:30, housing starts month over month, building permits month over month, red book at 5:55. We have the New York Treasury purchases, low impact. Not really much news during the session, but pre-market, we're going to have some movement. So with that said, this will probably be beneficial for us. Today, there was just nothing going on. We had the news here at 7 o'clock, but didn't really push anything. So there's not too much here to really look at. Yeah, I mean, I guess at this moment, we'll probably wrap this up soon. So it's 7:42 right now, guys. It's getting closer to 8 o'clock. As you guys can see, there's not really too much going on here. Just the current area that price is currently at, there's not really much for us to look at or even wait for. As you can see over here, that price just fakes out. And then it goes right back down to this lower level over here. So if you just zoom in, or let me zoom into this area. All right, so you guys can see how this is the real range right now. Price is ranging between this area right here. And what happens is that price just fakes out. So price will push out a little bit, fake out right here, come back down, push back up, fake out right there. And pretty much it just keeps going back and forth in this area. There's not really too much here to really work with, you know? So there's no reason to really stay on the charts for today. I mean, unless you guys are really looking to take something or you have to, which I'm pretty sure nobody does. You know, a lot of these prop firms, they've taken out the trading requirement for the day. So you don't really, there's no need to force any trades today. It's better to wrap up the day with no profit than to wrap up the day with a loss. And I think the worst feeling is to start off a Monday with a loss anyways. Looking over here at our team profits, let's see, we got a couple people here who took trades for the day. We got Eunice over here, total profit of 1,069, all wins here. Nice work, Eunice. We got Kenny here, total profit of 2,120. Nice work, Kenny. And we got Eunice over here, other account, total profit of 417. So decent profit today so far. If you guys have more profits post up, feel free to send them in. Also over here with Maddie. So big congrats to Maddie. He just got funded another 300K on Tradeovate for Apex. So Maddie has a ton of accounts now. If you guys have seen his accounts, Maddie's got a lot of accounts. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 accounts. So I think Maddie's got like over $1 million in funding from Apex already. So nice work, Maddie. Yeah, Maddie pretty much killed it right there. We got some more profits here from Brock. Brock locked in a total profit of 1,040 for the day. Nice work, Brock. All wins. I mean, if you guys made profits today, great. There was a lot of different opportunities that came up. The only thing is that there were a lot of risky trades, so there weren't really too much to catch here for the most part. So yeah, if there's any questions that you guys have, you know, feel free to put them in the chat. If you guys have questions about Apex, I'm not exactly the guy to ask because I don't use Apex. You probably want to talk to Maddie, Sisuk, any of the other guys that use Apex. Apex is cool. It's just it's hard for me to trade on 2 different platforms. If I was able to trade directly on one platform, it'd be great. But for the most part, it's not really possible. So I think, so if I start to do some sort of account management, guys, I got to figure out I got to figure out how can I trade on MT4X. So here's the thing. I'm trading so this right here, I trade on forex.com. Forex.com does have an MT4 platform. So I can trade on MT4. The only problem here is you need to have a decent amount of money in the account to trade. So like if I was to manage anybody's account, you need like a minimum of $10,000. I know a lot of people can't afford that. So I'm kind of on the fence with that. But in the future, yeah, if I do manage accounts, you're probably you're gonna have to have a decent amount in your account because it's gonna be big spike right there. It's gonna be traded on a regulated account, not necessarily unregulated. I don't even know if there's any unregulated MC4 accounts right now that are still available because a lot of them got shut down. All right, so we got the spike down right here. There's still no opportunity for entry at the moment. Another fake out right here. So camel again right here. See how it's at the sessions? It's doing exactly what we anticipated. So like price came down right here. It looks like, damn, so price looks like it almost spiked down to full TP. So if you guys see the setup right here, this is exactly the setup that we were waiting for. And then maybe now we'll get that correction back up. We got really close to the TP, but it didn't get to that full TP just yet. Madhu's asking, you don't have your ATR indicator yet, right? Yeah, not yet, Madhu. I'm gonna try to get that to you guys this week, maybe even by today. So I'll for sure get it to you guys by this week. It's just I gotta debug it a little bit. There's still some issues with it. I don't really. So the only thing I use the ATR indicator for is to figure out my TP stop or my stop loss would be, and I think that's fine. The only thing I need to kind of make some changes to are the ATR down below. So it's a little more accurate. I mean, it's pretty accurate as is, but I just want to make sure that there's nothing wrong with it before I make it available to you guys. So I'll try to get that out to you guys. If not, well, for sure this week. So we'll by Friday at least. Let me check my calendar real quick. Yeah, because I'm gonna be out of town Wednesday. Getting my veneers. So getting veneers on Wednesday. Yeah, I should have some time by Friday. So I'll try to get them to you guys by Friday. So Rashida said, I need price to close below the sessions. Yeah. So if it closes below the sessions, the thing that you want to look for after that, Rashida, is look for the continuation, right? Don't just hop in right away. Because you can see over here, our price closed below it and it faked out. So it closed below it, faked out, came back up. If you see it close below, like say, for example, I think this would be ideal for you. If you're looking for the sell here, look for a buy signal. Once you get that buy signal, look for the sell signal to come below, and then look for the breakout V3 continuation to happen down here. If you get that, then yeah, it's going to be a smooth push down even lower. I think that's perfect. So if you guys use a confluence with the breakout V3s, continuation, that's like your key thing. So like, for example, we use the V1 variations as like one confluence, right? You see a V1 and then you have a V3 come up. It's pretty smooth. And then same with this here. If you have price break structure, and then you have it followed by, it's kind of like what happened up here. So this is exactly what Rashida is looking for. So price broke above here. It came back. Hell, sorry guys. I don't know what happened with my candles here. Let me refresh this. All right, so this is kind of what Rashida is looking for. Same thing right here, where kind of price broke past the structure. And then it was followed by a V3 continuation. This is obviously not a good example because it's right at the sessions, but same difference. Kind of like what happened right here. Price broke past the structure right here at the New York high. Had the sell signal, breakout V3, continuation. So that's actually a better example right there. But yeah, so whenever you guys take these breakout V3s, I would just recommend having some sort of confluence, either a break structure or you see some reversal pattern like a V1 variation, and odds of it breaking through and continuing in that direction are very odds of it happening are very likely. But again, right now it's 750, so We're getting closer to 8 o'clock, guys. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, there's just not really much for us to take here. Realistically, price is still going back and forth between these two levels right here. So not much has really changed at this point. Price is still kind of just going around this area. So with that sessions down below, it's going to line up with the 1 minute support. So when price does break below it, odds of it continuing are going to be very likely. So price did break below right here, but then again, there's a couple different things you can look for. You can look for a break and retest of the structure. So that's one thing to look for if you're looking for that. Like price can break below. There's no strategy for this here, but if you want to look for a basic pattern, price broke structure, look for the retest, basically a wick off this area and continuation. What I would prefer to see is I would prefer to see a fake out. So I would like to see price come down right here, provide a buy signal on, maybe this green candle right here. So fake out, climb up a little bit, then a sell signal to come back down. And then that's where I would take my entry. So you look for the double fake out, basically, take my entry for a sell right there. There's just a lot of different opportunities here that can play out. I mean, if you really want to take the entry here, a lot of people like to trade break and retest patterns. If this wicks off the sessions, this could be a break and retest pattern. But you can see right there, it was just a fake out. So it didn't actually wick off the sessions. It just pretty much bounced off it or didn't bounce off it. It broke above it for the fake out. And now this can be a continuation back down. Same difference, break and retest fake outs, it's the same thing. A lot of people like to categorize them differently, but it's pretty much the same thing. Like sometimes you'll get the wick off right here, price will break. This is kind of what might happen here. So see this pattern right here, it's the same thing that happened right here. Price broke and closed below it, price came back above, wicked off the structure, and then came right back up. So this would have been solid too, because price would have broken past it if there was a breakout V3 right here. That's one that we wanted to take earlier, but it just never came up. All right. So we got some more profits over here from Cam. Cam locked in a total profit of 192 for the day. Nice work, Cam. And we got some more profits here from Barack. Barack locked in a total profit of 2,105 for the day. Nice work, Barack. All right. So other than that, I don't really see too much. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up for the day. There's not really much for us to follow along here or take. I mean, it's 7:53 right now. It's getting closer to 8. You can see price is kind of just sitting at opening price right here. The ATR is currently 10. So I think if you guys are looking to take anything at this point, you're kind of just forcing it. I mean, if you want to take some trades, I'd probably hold off until like maybe a little past 8, because what I've noticed is, the market will be dead for a little bit for like maybe 30 minutes or so, from like 8 to 8:30, and then it picks back up around 8:39. So if you want to keep watching, I would keep an eye out for the ATR. Again, I'll try to get this indicator out to you guys this week. You can see the ATR just dropped down to 9. It's just getting lower and lower. So there's no need to force anything right now. If anything, you want to wait for the ATR to get at least like around 13, 15, around that point, because at that point, you'll start to have some volatility. The problem with this here is that the ATR is at 10. Just put a tester TP stop loss there, and it's going to take forever for you to hit your TP if it just keeps going back and forth between this area here, right? And the last thing you want to do is hold on to this position for longer than you need to. I think anything past 5 minutes is too long for a scalp strategy. So for example, see the high-low scalp V2? This entry is still running. This is a scalp strategy. This should have been hit like within 5 minutes. This thing's been running for almost, for almost an hour now. This is no longer a scalp strategy. This is now intraday, because you're holding on to it for so long. I mean, this trade will probably hit, but again, this at this point, it becomes an intraday strategy or intraday entry, and it's no longer a scalp. So you kind of go past the threshold, because this is supposed to hit right away, but you can see because of the low volatility, it's taking forever for it to hit. Yeah, Brock said good for the day, Sean. Thank you for the live. See you tomorrow. back in my home country. It's almost night here. Oh, yeah, bro. I forget that you're like I don't know where you're located, but I know you're somewhere on the opposite side. So you're definitely on the opposite time zone. So no, it's all good. But it's good that you're back home so that now you can kind of focus on trading for a little bit. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. It's 7:55, getting really close to 8 o'clock. There was no official entries for today, unfortunately. There was a couple entries that came up with the breakout V2, breakout V3, and then now the high-low scalp V2 that's currently running at the moment. But there's just nothing for us to take here right now. So I don't really recommend anyone really stay on the chart for too long, because if you do, you're kind of just following into a trade, enforcing something that's not really there. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in the Discord, and then I will add them to our profit post for later today. So other than that, guys, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for